All right, everybody, welcome back to the Cigar Experience Review. I'm Tyler, and we are getting into the Pichardo Familia Reserva Connecticut. And so, really wonderful looking smoke, really toothy looking, really clean double cap here, brilliantly done, high visible veins, so you can actually kind of see the, let's see if we can get that in there, you can see those veins in there. It's not a bad thing, it's just part of the construction there. And it's got a really cool, like, usually the Connecticut wrappers are very kind of blonde looking. This has almost got a kind of a butterscotch looking, so it's a little darker than a Connecticut. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's get into it and let's get it cut and set on fire. All right, one thing that I gotta bring up, right as I took the footband off, I noticed it has got an actual, like, the tobacco on the end, the wrapper obviously doesn't go to the end here, and so it's got this like exposed tobacco leaf down at the foot. So man, that's super cool. Let's get into that for sure. All right, so as I get this one cut, we're gonna talk a little bit about this cigar. So this one actually is from Ace Prime. So that's the company and distributor for this. So this is my first time with them. So I'm looking forward to really getting into their cigars. I've heard good things. They're kind of a new brand on the market. I know that the Mil Diaz by Crown Heads was a partnership between the tobacco used in the Mil Diaz there's a connection to Pichardo, and there's another one as well, and I'm blanking on it. But so, you know, they're doing some cool stuff. The wrapper is an Ecuadorian Connecticut. We're just gonna, let's do this on screen here. It's an Ecuadorian Connecticut. All right, just gonna get a little sliver, commit to it, and round it off at the top. The wrapper is a Nicaraguan Habano, so that's that darker wrapper right there, is that Ecuadorian Habano. And then the fillers, all that inside there, is Nicaraguan and Dominican. So got some really cool marbling on that. Let's see, let's get that lighting better. On the nose, I'm getting a little cocoa, some earth. It's sweet, like a maybe a little bit of cinnamon, but anyway, so cool tobaccos, and cool new company doing great things. I'm sure they're not new. I'm sure they've been in business for 30 years. I'm just now hearing about them. That's pretty typical. There's so many cigar companies out there. There's so many that have been in business for 15, 20, 30, 50 years. They've been under the radar. They've been making cigars for, this farm is making cigars for another company, and they finally decided to step out on their own. I'm not saying that's what Pichardo did. I'm just saying that there's so many out there that are, they have never heard of them, and then all of a sudden they pop up and they've got brilliant cigars. All right. Right from light up. Really a creamy cigar. Really. I get some coffee note in there. I get some spice on the retrohale. I get some leather, a good amount of leather in there. Man, I'm excited. So that's a good start, good light up. The draw is perfect. The draw is really brilliant. Getting good amount of smoke for sure. So, all right, let's get into that first third. Back in a minute. All right. Into the first third here. Construction is perfect. Draw is smooth. We've got that really, I'm getting a lot of that leather. I'm getting some good coffee note. It's kind of a creamy coffee. Like it feels like the perfect breakfast cigar. Like this is, dang, this is what you need to have in just a good cup of coffee, maybe a little French vanilla creamer, and gosh, this is a great cigar. So I've mentioned before, I'm more of a fan of a good constructed cigar than I am a fan of a good flavor but bad construction. Like if you got to have just one good construction all day, flavor is important, but man, I really, if it's got bad construction, if I'm having to relight you 100 times, like I'm out. Like I don't have that kind of patience. I'm sorry. There's too many good cigars out there that I don't have to do that with. So poor construction is a key component for me. Excuse me. And this is just a great constructed cigar. It is, the draw is really great. Good, rich, creamy smoke. Honestly, it's wonderful. It's really, really great. So let's get into it a little further. Let's get into the second, third. But for right now, so far so good. The flavors didn't change from that light up to the first third here. They're really just it's a medium body, maybe even a little bit light, but it's not. The flavors did not drop off at all. They're staying right there. So we'll get into it. We'll see how it goes. Second, third coming. All right, into the second, third. Still great. Leather, that coffee flavor. A little bit of spice on the retrohale. That, of course, comes from that Nicaraguan tobacco. I'm getting a little bit more nutty flavor on the back end right now, so a little that nutty flavor kind of came up in the second, third. More like a cashew, kind of a good nutty flavor there. Still great. Still construction is just doing really great. Haven't had to touch it up hardly at all. Yeah. Cheers to the second, third. See you in the final third. All right, so I'm almost down to the burning of the band here. I mean, I have just been smoking this thing and enjoying it, and I'm not gonna lie. I knew I said I wouldn't do it. In fact, I am burning the band. Look right there. I am burning the band just a little bit. I know I said I would not do this every time. I'm working on it. But man, I'm a fan, and this is a box worthy cigar for sure. In fact, this is gonna be, I gotta shout this the Pichardo out, because dang, great cigar. Easy smoke, wonderful draw, nutty flavor. It's got that leather in it. I would say this is a very good description of a nutty and leathery cigar, especially in that last half. The first half had a little more of that coffee cream to it. It's been creamy, but man, that creamy is kind of that, that's what I was saying, that cashew, kind of that creamy nut leather. And so really, really great flavors. I've got a new friend at work that I just started to get to know, and I'm going to recommend this cigar. I'm going to recommend that they start with this cigar, because this is a great place to start. Easy, good smoke output, great construction. Like I said, that's more important than anything. Doesn't leave too much flavor. It's actually got a longer finish than I expected. Sorry, I'm scratching my ass here. Longer finish than I was thinking, and which is great for me. But I'm gonna enjoy the last little bit. I'm gonna leave question of the day. So the reason why I got down to the band there is because I was just having a really wonderful conversation with my wife, and she has her business and I have my work, and her business is picking up, and so the conversation is like, hey, how can I help her do some of her work, right? So the question of the day is, do you work with your spouse? Do you do work with them? Maybe not like house projects, because we all do that. I'm talking about, like, do you work with your spouse? And if you do, how does that work? Like, do you have an extra level of like grace? Do you have an extra level of like, we work together from 8 to 5, and then after, you know, she's my coworker and then she's my wife? Or do you just go like, baby, let's just get through it? Or how does that play out? So you know, I'm intrigued to see how that plays. It's never been our story until apparently now. So I might be her first employee, you know. So anyway, I'm a fan of this cigar here. And again, we are talking about the Pichardo Familia Reserva, Connecticut. Have a good evening, y'all. We'll talk soon.